to replant this little plant. And actually, earlier this week, last week, right before 4th of July, I grabbed off, if you could see here, this one little string. It had like little babies growing off there. And if you ever wanted to start a new spider plant off a current spider plant, you could just take those babies off and plant them, or actually put them in a cup of water, which is what I did. So see, look at those gorgeous little roots that we have going here. I actually had 3 of them cut off. This one maybe could get away with splitting it in 2, but I'm not going to do that. So I've got 2 new ones, but I one to my daughter, so she's got a new spider plant, and hopefully she seems like the more the bottom. So what I want to do, and years ago at a thrift sale, but look at how much water I have down in the bottom. Oh my gosh, I would say this much. So we're gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna pour that yummy goodness over some oregano and basil my husband's got growing out here. Get that dried out. And the one thing you do want to do is always pot into another. Bear with, we got to find another pot. I thought I didn't even know there was a pot in this one. Fit down inside there, so this one's gonna work. It's actually kind of a fancy one, little Dollar Tree. So we're gonna use this. And one that I've learned over the years, you can little rocks at the bottom that gives it a little bit of extra, because it does not have a hole in the bottom. So maybe you do want to give it the opportunity. Ooh, that one's aim. I'm just not finding that medium size that'll fit in there. They should come with liners. That's what I think. But this one was a thrift store or thrift sale find. Maybe this will work. I do like this one a lot better though. Okay, so we're gonna put some rocks in there. And I might also, I've got a broken pot. I'm just gonna put that down in there too, because I like to give it a little aeration down there, especially since it doesn't have a hole. Might have to have my husband kind of pound a nail in there or something for me at a later time, unless I can, let's see, maybe I can be a little creative here. I have something else I found at a thrift sale. It was this little garden thing. I don't know if will it cut plastic? Am I strong enough? Maybe not. You don't need like a huge hole, but you do want to give it a drainage hole. And as you saw, what happened was I overwatered it, and certainly the roots are using all that water because they were below the pot, but you just want it to go. I think I see light. I don't know if I've gotten through yet. Don't do this at home. So welcome to my channel. This is Prairie Scraps here on YouTube. I appreciate you joining in. I like to DIY, do arts and crafts, and I am a gardener. I don't gardening. And I'm definitely not an expert on plants, house plants. All right. So I think I punctured through there. If I did not, my husband can come back and put a nail in that for me. And then we're going to use some fresh soil in here. Oofta. It is hot in here. I started out, like I said, you guys ever do that? Go outside and they're like, I'm going to do this one thing. And then a few minutes later, you're like trimming the lilac tree down because your husband said to trim the lilac tree. So I did that, and then I'm working up a sweat now, but all right. And of course, I still sound terrible because I still am recovering from my cold. So I don't think we're going to be able to repot these roots, but we'll see what comes out here. I want to put it over a different pot so I don't transfer. I'm just going to try to get this out as best I can without all the soil that is on it. And boy, we are wet. And I think we are just going to go ahead and clip off those roots that are outside the pot. See, this is well overdue. But like I said, sometimes spider plants, they just really love love atrocities. They love to be bothered. No, they don't love to be bothered. They love to be left alone and they love to be neglected, I guess is the word. So I'm going to try, what I'm doing is I'm just putting it in there and I'm trying to get it down in there. I'm just setting aside that soil. I will mix it into my garden mix, but I'm not going, this leftover, I will mix it into my garden mix, but I am not going to use it in my house plants because I'm trying to get some good quality. And I'm going to bury some of these, little stringers here, this dried out spot. I'm going to bury that this time in our potting soil. So I'm using brand new potting soil from the store. It is organic. I think it's what I got from Costco. It's Miracle Grow. So this will help along our poor little spider plant that's been neglected. But don't feel too sorry because she's a mama. She was making babies still. So if she had stopped making babies and stopped looking alive, what is clear maybe? She needs to call for help more often. So anyway, that's it. It does kind of sink down a little bit, and I will keep an eye on this for the next couple of days to make sure when I water it, if there's not enough soil in there, I will take care of it. So, and then I'm going to put our little birdie back down in there. The thing I don't like about this little birdie, my son-in-law is making little plant waters, but you can water it from the top. You have to take this out, clean out the bottom, try to fill it back up again. It's kind of a mess, and then you keep poking into your pots. We're going to see if our little birdie will now water for us. I have another one that's the shape of a mushroom from the Dollar Tree. So for $1.25, I thought this little birdie was kind of cute. I guess I just need to get my son-in-law to make one. And then we're going to return this back to my original pot. Like I said, I love this pot. Kind of looks farmhousey to me. It was probably one of the first farmhouse things that I've ever purchased. And don't mind my sweating. Woo, it is hot. It's supposed to be, I think, upper 80s today, maybe 90. And so, of course, like I said, I started getting sidetracked. So I have this pot, and I already painted this, Staying Alive. It's got a little cactus. We're not putting a cactus in, but I want to take these other two little plants and put them into, oh, I know what I did. I used my my pot I'm going to use for this for for emptying out the other pot. So we're going to empty that out, and I've got a nice pot with all the holes in here that I try, make do with what you have. So we're going to just go ahead and do this pot same way. I'm going to use that brand new baby that I grew for this. I'm going to start out with some potting soil. And I keep trying to grab like a pot to use, and it collapsed down on me. But like I said, this is one of those Dollar Tree containers, and it's a Dollar Tree inner pot. And I just chalk that, and it should be just fine. It shouldn't come off, especially because this is tin. And we're going to put this in here. Oofta. Hot to go for it, I guess. Kind of silly, really. So, but I thought this would be something fun to take to the farmer's market. But isn't that a cute little pot? Would you buy that at a farmer's market? And how much would you pay for a spider plant? So I've got another week before we'll be at the farmer's market. So I'll get that out there at the Kuski farmer's market. So make sure you subscribe and like. I also got this at a thrift store. I think it was $1. For $1. It looks like terracotta, but it's plastic. It says 100% recycled, Washington Pottery Company. And I found the exact pot. We're going to do the same idea with that mini one. I'm going to go over on Facebook, kind of talk about that. So, and if you want, go back on my stuff and look at my, when I painted that Staying Alive. I think this one I'm going to do, I Wet My Plants, is a cute one. It's the Tiffany season transfer, and I'll just use chalk on it. If I'm worried about, if you're ever worried about like pots because they're wet, washing off, the only way it would wash off is if you scrub at it when it's wet. But if you're worried about that, and because I'm going to sell these, I'll probably just spritz it a little bit with a clear coat and be done with it, and know that be confident that it's going to be just fine. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this cute little plant. I got a baby plant and I repotted my mama plant. So hopefully that will be a good thing here around the house. So let me know what kind of plants. What would you buy a spider plant at a farmer's market? Just curious. We'll talk to you soon. Keep on crafting.